It was an allergy cough, not a COVID cough. Just
Sure,
to put your at ease here, Mr. Sims.
I'm fine.
Okay, hello. Good evening, everyone. My name is Brad Gotcho. I am the Lower Paxton Township Manager. And in typical fashion, I will give a very brief summary of a very brief agenda for this evening. Under new business, you will find that there are 3 action items. Action to accept a donation of real property conveyed by David and Diane Krulak. Next is action authorizing the execution of a quitclaim deed for Matthew and Christy Kennedy for a property adjacent to their own property. And finally, action on Resolution 21-14, authorizing submission of a Strategic Management Planning Program grant to the Department of Community and Economic Development. Following that, the board will take action on subdivision and land development actions, such as improvement guarantees, before taking action on the payment of township and authority bills. And with all that said, members of the board are seated and prepared to conduct business. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gottschall. I'll call this meeting of the Lower Paxton Board of Supervisors to order. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand, and Supervisor Judd will lead us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll move now to approval of minutes. This from the Board of Supervisors business meeting of March 16th, 2021. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes from the March 16th, 2021 Board of Supervisors meeting.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Now is the time set aside for public comment. Before we take public comment, I would like to report the Board of Supervisors did meet in executive session prior to this meeting and will do so again following. Would any member of the public, Mr. Minsker, like to make comments this evening? You're our lone public. All well with you? All right. Seeing no public comment, we'll now go to chairman and board member comments. Board members, do we have any comments this evening?
Yeah, Mr. Judd and I attended the housing of the Lingelstown Fire Company, 3 of their apparatuses, and so we were honored with this certificate of appreciation, so I just wanted to present this to the rest of the board members and to Mr. Gutschall.
Very good.
Got it.
Good save, Robin. Very good save. Any other board members? We also were pleased, the 4 of us, to participate in the Memorial Day Parade, sponsored by the Lingelstown Legion, and it was a great day for a parade. The weather was ideal, not too hot, not too cold, and the clouds and the rain went away. So congratulations to the Legion and to everyone who was involved in that. Very fine remembrance of those who have fought and died for our freedoms. With that, Manager, do you have any report today?
Yes, sir, members of the board. I do have one item, if I may. So given a bit of confusion and tight timeliness of last year's process, I am moving up the board's review of community applications to the Dauphin County Local Share Grant program from September to July of this year. Consistent with past practice, the board will entertain public presentations of all grant applications in one meeting to be held during your July 13th workshop. The board will then rank and provide letters of support to the projects at your July 20th business meeting. All interested groups or township departments should have their grant applications and supporting documents to my office no later than July 9th for inclusion in your board packets. So it's a bit of a departure, but I just wanted to get that information out there.
Good.
Mr. Gutschall, do we notify the applicants that had applied like the year prior?
Yes.
Okay, because of the change?
Yes,
Okay.
yep.
Good. Good. We'll get a head start on all that. Anything else? Okay. Seeing no old business, we will move now to new business. First thing we need is to take action to accept a donation of real property conveyed by David and Diane Krulak. Mr. Godshall.
Yes, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. So several months ago now, David and Diane Krulak came forward expressing their selfless desire to donate a 1.98 acre parcel of land located to the north of Parkway East, or just 2 parcels south of the parcel once owned by the township known as the Buchanan Tract. With affirmative action this evening, parcel 35-003-123, owned by the Krulaks since 1999, will be conveyed to the township. Mr. Stein has reviewed the attached quitclaim deed and is hereby recommending that the board acts to approve.
Board members, any questions? Comments? Okay. Seeing none, is there a motion to accept the donation of real property?
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept the donation of real property conveyed by David and Diane Krulek as outlined on the public agenda, and do so with gratitude.
Yes, we appreciate their generosity to the township very much. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
We need to take action authorizing execution of a quit-claim deed with Matthew and Christy Kennedy for property adjacent to parcel 35-014-122. Mr. Godshall, can you explain this to us, please?
Yes, sir. Board members, Mr. and Mrs. Kennedy owning property and a home at 5891 Laurel Street, adjacent to parcel 35-014-122, have been interested for some time in taking ownership of this currently unimproved subdivision right-of-way joining their property. Essentially, it's a dead end right now, not maintained by anyone. And so with that, their goal is to improve the property's visual appearance and increase safety at the dead end. The township has no rights to this parcel, and this quitclaim deed is merely certifying that we are releasing any and all claims for which we may or may not have. So that successfully does this.
Okay.
So it was a piece of our property? No?
It is not. Amanda, Mrs. Irby, and Mr. Stein have pretty extensively investigated this, and it's not township property. I guess it was just subdivision.
Kind of like an unopened right of way.
Nice.
It was never paved, it was never stoned, it's just grass, I think. So
Mhm.
Okay.
it's really what it is.
And not something we're ever likely to have a use for.
No.
Not really. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure the adjacent property owners are not pleased with looking at an overgrown parcel next to theirs. So, glad they're willing to beautify it. Any other questions? Seeing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we authorize the execution of a quitclaim deed with Matthew and Christy Kennedy for property adjacent to parcel 35-14-122.
Is there a second?
Second.
And just to clarify, it's parcel 35-014.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dash
014.
122.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. We need to take action on Resolution 21-14, this authorizing submission of a Strategic Management Planning Program grant to DCED, Department of Community and Economic Development. Mr. Godshall, we are seeking this grant.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we are. The Commonwealth Strategic Management Planning Program provides grant funding of 50%, up to $200,000 for the appointment of a financial and management consultant to review and assess the township's current and long-term financial position. As part of the assessment, the consultants will review operations and policies within each of the township's departments to provide feedback on how they are impacting finances and provide recommendations on best practices in keeping with the board's ongoing desire to ensure the future vitality of the township without overburdening our taxpayer base. In March, we put out a request for proposals to firms in this industry and received 10 responses. Resolution 21-14 authorizes me to submit an application to DCED for this grant program and officially allocates the township's 50% local match. Once awarded the grant from DCD, the board may enter into an agreement with the selected consulting firm.
Now, was this the grant that they don't currently have money that we're waiting for?
That is correct, yes. Once the Commonwealth's budget is passed, the program will be refunded, and hopefully we can get our application approved rather quickly.
Well, we'll see how that goes. June is always an interesting month under the state capitol dome. Okay, any questions about this grant request?
So we can't submit the application pending the approval of the funds?
Well, actually, yes, once the board approves this resolution, I will submit the application, and our DCD rep has already told us that once we do that, our application will be in the list and on the list, and once the program is funded, we'll get notification right away that we're essentially approved, hopefully, so.
Good. Any other questions? Seeing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the action on Resolution 21-14, authorizing submission of a Strategic Management Planning Program grant to DCED.
So moved, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. We now need to proceed to improvement guarantees, and I would like a motion for the Fairmont Drive, Blue Ridge Village, Stray Winds, Blue Ridge Village Phase 1, Stray Winds 5C, et cetera, and Chivoni Limited, excluding Shadebrook. Can we have a motion on those improvement guarantees, but not including Shadebrook?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Now we need to have a motion to approve the improvement guarantee for Shadebrook Phase 1 being retained. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the Shadebrook Phase 1 retained improvement guarantee.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. I would like to have a roll call vote on that, please.
Abstain.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. We'll move now to the payment of bills for Lower Paxton Township and the Lower Paxton Township Authority. Mr. Treasurer.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve payment of the bills for Lower Paxton Township and Lower Paxton Township Authority.
So moved. Any questions on the bills? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Well, actually, we need a second.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a second. Now, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any further announcements for the good of the order?
You know, I forgot, we haven't been here since we had the awards ceremony at Heroes Grove. So I want to thank Director Kashiba. It was an awesome evening, and the roof on Heroes Grove is just absolutely beautiful. And congratulations to the firemen and the EMS and all three of our fire companies.
And the police department.
Oh, that's right, and the
Yes.
police department. And the police department.
Anybody else? Okay. Our next meeting will be a workshop meeting, which will be on Tuesday, June 8th at 7 p.m. right here in this room. With that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved. Is there a second? Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.